It's Wacky Wednesday con El Bumper.
Unfiltered, the real deal. No pre-planning, no chingaderas. Straight up from the bill.
Wacky Wednesday.
B-Town's very own.
It's Wacky Wednesday con El Bumper.
Here's your host, Bumper Gomez.
What's going down, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Bumper's Wacky Wednesday. Man, tonight is gonna be awesome. I've been waiting 2 weeks, I'm very dude. It's like I don't know if you guys ever had like. You've known somebody for so many years, and then you finally get in their presence, or you get to speak to them. That's kind of I guess starstruck in a sense. That's the kind of way I see it. He'll probably tell you otherwise, but that's how I feel. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the disclaimer out right away. Hey, have you seen any moscas tonight in the back of me? As you know, I'm not in my usual spot. We're getting some stuff done to the house, so the doors have been open, and we've been on a fly killing spree. So if you see one land on me, hey, he's gonna make his appearance. You know what I mean? So bear with it. But no, welcome to another episode, man. Another show. It's like I said, it's gonna be funny. I really wanna. This is one of my mentors in a sense. You've heard me mention his name time and time again, and he's. The dude is like really down to earth, and I just kind of I want to get people to get to know him and also promote his show, because his show to me is one of the fastest growing shows that we have anybody here out of the South Texas area going. That's for sure, and I definitely watch all his shows. He has quite a few coming during the week, so if you don't know who I'm talking about. I put it out there. His name is RockNRoll James, and he's been in the business for a long time. And when I mean business, I mean the entertainment business as a whole. And I just want you guys really to get to know him. And I talked to him earlier. I told him, hey man, I really don't have a script. That's not my style. So I kind of just shoot from the hip. So we're gonna see how this goes, man. I'm nervous. He might not know that, but I'm nervous because again. This guy for me is huge. I look up to him in the sense of doing these podcasts and stuff. And he's never told me no. He has never told me no. He's never answered a text, a phone call like, hey man, what about this? What about that? He'll answer. So let's see. Without further ado, here he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. RockNRoll James himself. Rock, how's it going, man?
It's going good, man. I got Freddy Fender behind me. Today is the day he died, back in 2003. He's a big icon from San Benito, Texas, and man, he did so much for our culture. He was a big country artist in the '70s. Before the next teardrop falls. Wasted Days and Wasted Nights. He made it onto the Johnny Carson show. They've honored him with his portrait on the water tower in San Benito. He went and did some time in Angola, in Louisiana. He got caught with like 1 or 2 cigarettes of weed, and boom, he was put into prison.
Yeah,
he came out back in the day.
They did him dirty.
Yeah, it was, but he did quite a lot. And then he was with the Texas Tornadoes, and so just a legend, man. And I have one of his old albums, so I say, you know what? For this interview, I'm gonna put good old Freddy Fender in the back there, man.
That was my dad. That's one of my dad's favorites to listen to, man. I mean, Wasted Days and Wasted Nights. I mean, as soon as you hear it, it's just like it gives you that vibe,
And I lived out plenty of those, bro. I could write a book called Wasted Days and Wasted Nights, man.
I hear you. Rock, on the pre-post that I usually put out, man, I put out a pre-post, kind of just tell people, hey, this is what I'm gonna have this week, and I had read kind of like your bio in a sense, and then I was like, man, I can't put his bio in here, nombre. It would take it would fill up the whole thing. So I kind of just picked and took, but man, you have really had done a lot of things, dude, in your career. I would call it the entertainment business. I mean, I don't know, maybe fix it if that's not what you would call it, but I mean, dude, you've done a lot, and I called you an entrepreneur. You're a disc jockey on the radio. You've been, you've done TV. You've done it all, dude. So I just want to pick your brain tonight, man. Like I told you, it's kind of I call it shooting from the hip. I just, it's conversation, bro. And what I like to do is just, if people are joining in, it's kind of one of those things where we just talking, bro. And like, if we're having a beer at a table and somebody's sitting there with us and enjoying some good conversation, that's the kind of like the way I like to roll with things. I don't know. Are you all right with that?
Oh man, that's the way I live, bro. I made a career out of flying by the seat of my pants, bro. You know what I mean? I've never really planned anything. I've just gone where my talent has taken me, and everywhere was given an opportunity, break that door down, bro. Go all the way. Don't just go halfway, man. That's what I tell people. The door of opportunity opens. Don't put your foot in there to keep it from closing. Tear it down off the hinges, bro. I mean, that's go all the way, bro. 110%, bro. That's the way to do it.
Definitely. I got to scoot over it, bro. I'm not even centered to be talking there.
I was gonna tell you that. I wanted to look around the corner like, hey, so I can see the rest of you, bro.
Yeah. Rock, I was gonna, you're from the Valley, and you're let's see, he got an echo on his end bump. I don't know why this. Let me turn it down over here. Maybe it's me.
It's probably on your end.
Yeah, it's probably on my end. Usually all the interviews they have echo. We just haven't kind of figured it out. Hey, somebody give me a thumbs up if the echo went down a little bit. I'd appreciate it.
We're doing it in the middle of the Grand Canyon, carnal. Hello.
Definitely. So I see your shirt there. It says #PVT, and for those that aren't, that's the YouTube channel, man. That's what got me hooked. And with that being said, I want you to tell my viewers, the Wacky Wednesday viewers, what does #PVT stand for, bro?
Well, it means and it stands for Professional Valley Talk. And growing up here in the Rio Grande Valley, I had parents that spoke English and some Spanish, and I had grandparents that spoke predominantly Spanish. My grandmother. So when I was a kid, my parents would go drop me off at my grandma. Man, I spent my life in most of my childhood at my grandma's house, and I was her grandson, and nobody could touch me, bro. She me tenía enchiflado, carnal. ¿Entiendes? Que en paz descanse mi abuelita, que la adoro chingos, man. Pero she didn't know how to speak English, and so I had to communicate with her. And the way I would communicate with her, I would put, I'd say, like, if I wanted her to cook something for me, cuquear. Grandma puede cuquear. So we would put like the English word and the Spanish word and fuse them together. The beginning of the English word with the ending of a Spanish word. So cuquear, cook, cocinar, cuquear. So that's kind of the way we started creating our own lingo down here, and I call it fourth generation Mexican American lingo, because the first generation parents are predominantly Spanish. The kids end up speaking more Spanish, learning the English at school, and then they have kids, and their kids grow up to the grandparents, and they know how to speak English because they learned it in school.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So then they just don't predominantly English, but then they got to go to their great grandparents or their grandparents' house, and they got to speak Spanish, so they have to communicate. And so it's a revolving thing.
Getting all mixed together.
Yeah, and then there's also a thing that they had a write up on me back in the '90s on the Associated Press, which is like a worldwide press news agency, right?
Right.
And they came down here because we were code switching on the radio. We're like the only area in the whole world that was code switching, which is speaking English and Spanish. Like ponte los red shoes, so it's Spanish and English, and they call that code switching. So I was one of the masters at that on the radio, and so they came and they did a whole interview on me, and it was in all the newspapers throughout the nation. So it was pretty crazy, but we're down from the Rio Grande Valley, and it's been a very unique place to live and grow up, and the language is just very colorful around here.
Yeah,
One
no,
time I went to Houston and I was at a club and I just started talking with a guy, and the guy says, "Hey, you're from the Valle, right?" And I go, "Yeah, how did you know?" The way you talk, like that, bro.
hey, Rock, it's funny, man, that you say that because you in the oil fields. I got friends that work in the oil fields or in construction, and a lot of vatos come from the valley and they come work up north or wherever. And same thing, dude. As soon as somebody opens their mouth, they're like, "Nah." They use a word and like, bro, that dude's from the valley. Hey, bro, where you from? Oh, I'm from Edcach. I'm from Edcach, or Elsa, or San Juan, San Benito. It's cool, man. But you know what, bro? That's what makes our people, dude. That's what makes us unique.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about your show. It's very. Some people would say, Rock, hey, you're kind of limiting. You could look at it in a sense to where you're limiting your audience to people from the valley. But if you watch one of his shows, it's nothing like that. I mean, you're getting people from all over the world are tuning in to your
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. There's Valley people all over the nation, bro. I mean, because growing up, there was a lot of migrants that would travel from the Rio Grande Valley to Oregon, Michigan, Idaho, Florida, and they'd go to work and then they'd come back in summer. Here, when I was growing up in my elementary days back in the 70s, it was pretty common to see homes with plywoods on the windows and during the summer. And right there and then you knew, hey, they're up north working. That was, I mean, I'd go drive around my grandma's neighborhood. There were homes with plywoods because they'd plywood up the whole house so nobody would break into them while they're out there, you know. And they ended up staying up there, bro. I have a family in Oregon. My grandma's sister, que también en paz descanse, she passed away this year at the age of 94.
Wow.
And she had 16 kids, bro. And her kids, her oldest is my dad's age, like 77. Her youngest is my age, 52, 54, right? 53, something like that. And they all had kids, and their kids had kids. And I mean, so it is a huge, and they're Tejano fans, you know? And you
Yeah.
go over there and they talk just like, we do down here in South Texas. So there's people in Washington State, California, I mean, everywhere. And I've been getting a lot of attention from a lot of people that are finding the show. And but we do speak English too, and we speak Spanish, and so we mix it up quite a bit, bro.
No, you do that. That's why I love watching the show. For me, I mean, it's my culture. I love it. I love everything that you guys talk about. Rock. So you grew up there in the valley, and when we consider the valley, because I got viewers too that watch all over from the United States. When you consider the valley, I would consider the valley from Brownsville all the way to Edinburgh.
With Brownsville to Roma,
To
we're
Roma.
considered,
Okay.
and then to Raymondville. So it's a four county. You got Willacy County, Cameron County, Hidalgo County, and Starr County. That's
And and
basically what's considered the Rio Grande Valley.
and it's crazy because it's kind of like I lived in Southern California, and you can drive from Tijuana to Los Angeles, and it's just like one solid metropolis. It's just a line in the dirt. You're in San Diego, and then
Yeah.
you're in Carlsbad. It's all the way up. When I go to the valley, that's how I remember. Like, yo, bro, I'm from San Juan. Oh, I'm from bro. It's just like right across. Like, I mean, it's the same. You know what I mean? It's just a kind of a line in the dirt. Hey, you're here. You're here. You're there.
There's one road that splits the cities, and you cross the street, you're in one town. You cross the street, you're in the other town. You come back, you're in the other town. McAllen and Far, San Juan and Alamo and Mission, and Sherryland. I mean, it's just one big metroplex, but it's starting to become like where you drive from McAllen to Brownsville, there's like, there's
One solid city.
buildings and brick and mortar stuff
Yeah,
all over
yeah,
the
yeah.
place. Yeah.
Rock, when you were younger, bro, we'll just go back to as far as your high school days. I mean, did you see yourself? Were you in music? Were you playing? I know you got Whiskey D. We haven't talked about that yet, but Whiskey D is a classic. Well, just a badass rock and roll band.
Southern rock.
Southern rock, and like, were you a musician before you got into this, or when you were in high school? Like, what was your thoughts of what you were gonna do?
Well, I've always been attracted to music since I was a kid. My parents, they had a wide variety of albums inside. We used to have a stereo that was like a big old coffin, and you would lift up the lid, and there was records, and there was a record player. And my parents' collection consisted of Little Joe, Agustin Ramirez, the Carpenters, the Eagles, and a whole bunch of different genres of music, Elton John. And then I grew up on AM radio in the '70s, where you heard, Kenny Rogers. Then it went to the Bee Gees. Then it went to Led Zeppelin, and so and so. And we had like one Spanish station that was playing a lot of conjunto back then, stuff KGBT and Mexican norteño, like de Relámpagos. But my parents were listening to it all, and I was absorbing it all. And so, as a very young child, I was very attracted to music, and I started singing like in fourth grade in programs and stuff like that. And then I got into junior high, and I started, drinking and smoking, and
In junior
like
high,
seven.
bro?
Yeah, it's about seventh grade, and I started getting into heavy metal, and I created some rock bands. I was playing with a band called Spaniard Armada when I was in seventh grade, and we were doing like Stray Cats. We were doing, some CZ Top, Led Zeppelin, stuff like that, and we started playing backyard parties. And so I started in seventh grade with bands, and then I got to high school, and I ended up, getting kicked out, and I went to Mission, and Mission kicked me out. I ended up in Harlingen, and when I went to Harlingen, because I was kind of against dress codes. I hated all that. Like, you need to cut your hair, you need to dress
Did
this
you wear
way.
all black, Rock?
I was wearing tour shirts. I wore tour shirts, torn up jeans, mountain hiking boots, and a wad of paper in my back pocket and a pencil. You know what I mean? It's like, and so, well, when I was in high school in Mercedes, I mean, I had a 2 hour lunch, and I was in ninth grade. And so I go out and party at lunch, and I'd get to my fourth and fifth. I had lunch. I'd get to my sixth period class wasted, and so I wasn't too keen on being in high school. And so then I went to Mission. I got kicked out of that place because I got a job as a DJ when I was in 10th grade in Mission. And I started working at this bar because I was living with a friend in Mission, and I wanted to pitch in with, some money to
So you already
buy
were
some
out of the
food.
house in 10th grade.
Yeah, yeah, I was gone. I was living in Mission. I was living with my friend that actually named me Rock and Roll James, and it was his two sisters and a brother and a dog, and we lived in a government home. So I went there, and he was a stripper. He was a male stripper, and
Uh-huh.
he got a job at a bar, and so they needed a DJ. They were just going to open it, so he hired me. I mean, so he got me in there, and so I started working at the bar. And before that, I was working at HEB for like 275 an hour as a sacker. So then the bar hires me, and they're paying me 400 bucks for 3 nights. So I said, "Pues chinga, I'm not gonna
Hey,
go back to HEB, bro. You
hell
know what I
no.
mean?" So I started DJing at the bar, and I was going to school. So I'd get home at 2 in the morning. Then I'd go to school at 8, and my first period was study hall. So one morning I was like, screw that, man. I ain't gonna go to study hall, bro. What am I gonna do? Just sit there? I'll just go to my second period from there on in. So I went to the second period, and then the next day, study hall wanted a excuse. So I didn't have one. They sent me to the office, and the
Can't call your parents.
no. And so, and then they had through my legal guardian. He was notorious in that school when he had graduated like a year or two before me, before I got there. So the guy's name, the principal's name was Mr. Zapata, and he was like hardcore dude.
Uh huh.
So he said, "What? Why didn't you show up to study hall?" And I said, "Well, I'm working, and uh, I got home late, and I couldn't get up in the mornings." I said, "All right." So he wanted to give me corporal punishment for skipping class, which was two licks back then, right?
Yeah.
And I told him, "Dude, my parents don't touch me. You think you're gonna touch me? Hell no." So he says, "Okay, here, get the hell out of school." So I got kicked out, bro. Then I ended up going to Harlingen because I had an aunt that lived over there. So to go to school, right?
You just need an
And I
address,
qu-
baby.
I quit my DJ job because of some certain situation. So I ended up moving to my aunt's house in Harlingen, and I went to school there. And the first day I got to school, I get in a class, and the dude sitting there has long hair, shorts, chanclas, and just a Hawaiian shirt, and he's like sitting there, and I'm like, "What? There ain't no dress code here, or what? Damn, this is a badass." They had a smoking area for the students, you
In the
know,
school?
in the school, bro. Harlingen High School, bro. They had
You heard
yeah,
it here,
everything.
folks. You heard it here, first, folks. That's crazy,
It was
man.
open campus, no dress code, smoking area for the students. And I thought, shit, I just might graduate. You know what I mean? But the school year ended. I got a job at South Padre Island DJing at Louis' Backyard. And it was 1985. I was making $1,000 a week. And I said, I don't think I'm going back to school. And that's where I started, man.
That's crazy, Rock. So the when you say DJ, I mean you're in South Texas. I mean you grew, like you said, you grew up with all kinds of music. So I mean I'm sure you knew, they could put you in a country bar. You could play country music. You could put you in, that's what's good about you, is that you were a variety DJ. You could play whatever. And, hey, we got a comment, Rock. Somebody's put, it sounds like the substitute to
It sounds like what?
the substitute, the movie,
Oh,
the
yeah.
substitute, your
Oh, yeah.
your time in school. But no, Rock. So then you left for DJing. Do you remember your first actual radio DJ gig?
Oh, yeah. The first of all, the kind of DJ I am is quinceañera boda DJ.
Got you.
Where you have to play everything, right? You got to play cumbias, guapangos, tejano, country, disco, and sometimes they'll ask for some hard rock. So due to the fact that I grew up in a variety of music with my parents and the AM radio, was I was pretty much. And I love it all, man. I love country. I love all that music. I love it all, bro. There's only good music and bad music. That's it. I don't consider genres or anything like that. But the first time I ever got on the radio, I was working at well, Mando San Roman. He's a local jock here. And I interviewed him on hashtag PVT. He started DJ in
Oh yeah.
1978,
The guy,
and
you guys were talking about what happened to Tejano music.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, I got you.
So I was working at a club in Harlingen called Studio Four, and I worked Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Saturdays. Sundays, Mondo worked because he worked with a radio station, so they had Tejano night, and they had a live Tejano band, and he would play between the bands, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, and they'd say on the radio, "Hey, Mano San Roman from KIWW is going to be performing and stuff." So um, on Fridays and Saturdays, I'd work 8 at night to 4 in the morning. We're a club that stayed open till 4, and and in between 2 o'clock when I started picking everything up, I'd do contests and I'd make everybody laugh. I was doing the comedy stuff. So Mondo would go there on Saturday and hang out, and then I'd come back on Sunday, and we became very good friends. And it was at the Tejano radio station. And so he always said, "Hey, man, maybe you can work with us." I go, "Nah, man, bro, I want to be in a rock station. I want to be at a rock station."
Right.
So then one morning he goes up, and I was staying at my mom's that morning, and he shows up to my mom's house, and my mom wakes me up. She says, "Jaime, Mando's looking for you outside." I said, "Oh, okay." So I went, "¿Qué pasó, Mando?" And I was real sick, dude. I had Vicks, and I had a towel. I had like the flu, right? He says, "Hey, Rock, we have an opening, man. Why don't you come up and, and apply?" I go, "Chinga, mano, no es malo, carnal, no puedo, bro, no es jodido, hazlo chinga." "No, just go. All you need to do is just go by, man." "Ah, bueno, bro, I'll go." So he took off. I didn't go. I was just too sick. I went the next day. And so the next day I went and I was all stuffed up. And there was a guy named Brother John and Mando. And they said, "Hey, it's Todo, come on in, Rock. Hey, let's put you in the production room. Hey, just read the script." All right. I read the script. I said it all. All right. Then make sure to join us at Mott's Cash and Carry. You know what I mean? And so I left there and I said, "No, man, dude, they're not going to hire me." I sound like shit. That afternoon, they called me and said, "Hey, man, you start Saturday morning at 6 a.m." I said, "Oh, man." Well, I get up at 4 in the morning. "Well, can you make it?" I go, "Yeah, fuck yeah, I'll make it." So I got off of the club at 4 and I went to 6 a.m. and I was on the air from 6 to 12. The first time I got into the radio booth, they had a guy working midnight to 6, right?
Yeah.
And back then, they were allowed to smoke inside the booth. So I walk in there and like, "God damn, I left the club and now I'm coming into a bar, dude." It was like full of smoke inside and shit.
And there's
And,
nowhere
his
for it
name
to go.
his name was Raimundo Marroquin, man. I think his name was. So, I had a remote at 8 in the morning, which is when a jock goes to a place, say, "Hey, we're over here live at the car lot and come on by and hang out and shit. We're gonna
Yeah.
do give away this, right?" So the freaking board was old, man. It was like an old school board. So I said, "Hey, tengo un remote. Sí, tienes un remoto. Mira, haces esto, papá." She took off. And I'm like, "Okay. Shit." So then the first call comes in, right, from the guy. He says, "It's going to be a minute." So I pot him up and I'm listening and I don't hear anything. And I'm just looking at the time. I guess it's coming out on the radio. I don't know. So we had a minute of dead air. And so I brought it back down. "All right, we got more music." Boom. And I put it up. Then I get a call from the program director, a guy named Jose Luis Martinez, right? And he calls me on the hotline. I go, "Hello." And he just started reaming me a new one bad. I mean, he started cantándome, bro, using every F word in the book and shit.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, "What the?" Shoot, man, I hung up all shocked, dude. I was 21 years old, right? And so then I get another call from Brother John, and he says, "Hey, Rock, hey, man, sorry about that call, dude. Go on, man. I mean, Raimundo Marroquin didn't really teach me what's going on here, bro. But look, just follow this." So he took me step by step.
Uh-huh.
I potted it up. Boom, we're gone, right? And that day, I learned a big lesson, bro. I said, "I'm never going to treat anybody like that dude treated me, you know,
He
because
left you for the birds, homie.
yeah, like the boss calls me and didn't teach me a damn thing and just threw every bad word at me in the book. The other guy came in, took me step, calmao, we got it done. I learned a huge lesson that day, bro. I said, "That's not the way to do it. That's the way to do it."
You gotta be.
So, so that's why, like, when you call me, bro, and you're asking me for any type of advice or any type of, knowledge that I might have that can help your program, pues chinga, bro, what do I do? "Hey, bro, Simon, this is what I got. This is what I do." You know
Yep.
what, bro? I take a lot of happiness in seeing other people succeed. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
That's the way you leave a legacy, bro, is by, helping other people with your knowledge and experience and seeing them blow it up into the next level, bro.
It- Rock, I
Because
mean,
if
you
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 if
you
you
hit
get to
it.
the next level, if you get to the next level, bro, I'm there with you.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about right there. Looking out
You
for
know
one
what I mean?
another.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. and you know, there's a lot of envy in this business, and people don't want to give anybody their ideas, or you know, well, ideas is a different thing, but as far as you know, any type of advice, constructive criticism, and some people can't take constructive
Oh
criticism, bro.
yeah, definitely,
You
definitely.
know what? They get feelings
Yeah.
and hurt and all this, but you know, it's the nature of the business. But you know, whenever I am asked for any type of advice or any type of critique on their performance or whatever, I'll be honest, man. You know, and not rude or nothing, but be honest. You know, and let's talk.
It's crazy, man. Before I forget, I don't want to forget all these people is te están mandando saludos, Rock. I know you can't see the thing, but Eloy Leja from KIWW back in the day.
I know, Eloy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Eloy, and then Cuyo from Macizo te mandó
Hmm.
saludos.
What's up, Cuyo?
And there's some people watching from Florida. Shout out to Hopi and them watching from Florida, and then you know the people just tuning in. Rock, I really wanted to talk to you on that. Like that's why I was kind of saying it when we first started, man. At first, I was like, dude, this dude's not gonna answer my stuff, bro. He's gonna be like, bro, what are you trying to do? And it means a lot to me personally. Like you know, we're live. This is not recorded. It means a lot to me that somebody of I would put it in a sense of your caliber would even accept a phone call and then and talk me through what I was trying to do, you know, I mean, you laid it down for me like, hey, you need to do this, and this, and I mean, I appreciate it. I mean, that got me to where I'm at today. Some of the stuff that I have, I remember when we were talking. I think Eloy used to call. I don't know if he still does, but he used to call himself Bumper. Eloy from
Yeah, I know,
KIWW
Eloy.
back in the day.
Well, he's with Freddie Records now.
Right. No, he's not. He's not with Freddie no
Oh, he
more.
used to be.
He used to be right. So when I was talking to you, you're like, "Hey, you're not Bumper from Freddie Records." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Nah, bro."
Eres tu
But I know
bumper,
who
que
you're
onda
talking about. I
bumper.
know who you're talking. It's such a small world. You know,
Yeah,
because my best friend growing up was Muñeco, and we've talked about that.
yeah,
He worked
I
at
know him.
KWW for years in the Valley. But Rock, it's amazing to like with social media and YouTube and stuff that we have now. Like I can go back. You could type in rock and roll. You type in rock and roll James Selena. I want to say that you probably have. I mean, if I'm wrong, correct me. But you probably have the most interviews on camera with Selena.
Possibly, bro. Yeah, I think I do an AB, and we back when we had that TV show Puro Tejano in the '90s, we created a couple of month long, maybe 2 months worth of a campaign that we did with Selena, and we just saw so much in her and her personality and just her talent. I mean, but most of all, her personality and her way of being humble and just normal, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
you're starstruck, but it's like you. It's like it's literally just like you, bro. Like to me, you're a star. You know what I mean? And to be able just to have a conversation with you, I mean, I'm sure that's the kind of the same kind of vibe you get. Like you know, I bet back then, if you would have known the way it was going to be now, if you would have known that back then, of course, I mean, you probably would have been more like, a la madre, dude. This is like, this is Selena. You know what I mean? But you were with her from the humble time, the humble beginnings. You know what I mean? You knew her
yeah,
humble beginnings before it rose to what she, you know, the grand superstar that she is, and I love just watching those interviews, bro, and just how genuine you were. Like you know, sometimes when you see an interview, you're like, "Pinche vato, it's fake." You know what I mean? Like, dude, it's just not.
yeah, it's scripted.
There,
Yeah,
that's
I've
the word.
never,
It's scripted, and you were
yeah,
just like it was like you were just having a conversation, bro. It was natural. Like all the questions that came to you, it wasn't like you were looking at a note card saying, "Hey, Selena, what's gonna be your?" You know what I mean? You were just
yeah.
she was there with you, and you guys talk. Those interviews are great. So if you guys ever get, you know, Rock, are those on your YouTube channel, or those are
Uh,
just
I
out
put
there?
clips. Yeah, I put clips, but um, the thing about me is like that YouTube, that Puro Tejano show. We had 4 or 5 hosts. It was me, Mando Saruman, and it was Iris Hinojosa, Mad Mexican. So we had about 4 hosts. And the producers, they loved taking me more than the rest of the guys because I was the type of guy where if something happened, turn the cameras on, let's go. Give me the mic. And I just roll with it, bro. And my improvisational skills were way better than your normal average guy. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
but those guys, we sat down, and if they come up with an idea, boom, 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 boom. I'd come up with all the scenes and all the ideas just like that, bro. So I'm just like that, bro. I'm ADHD. My wife says I'm ADHD, but it can be like a curse, dude, because I create something and then 4 other things spawn off of that, and I want to do all 5. You know what I mean?
You can't just
And
pick one. You want to do
I
all of them.
can't, dude. I want to do it all, bro.
I
I'm
got you.
I'm just like that. I'm the type of guy that I want to do it all. And so when we were doing that show, I was 25, 26 years old, 27. I was full of piss and vinegar, and give me the mic, turn it on, the camera, let's go. Hey, we have an interview with so and so. Can we do it? Yeah, man. Where is it? It's over there. But man, it's gonna right now. I said, well, let's go. Turn on the cameras. Órale, hey, ¿qué pasó, Javier del Banco? Hey, what's going on, bro? ¿Qué andas haciendo aquí, bro? Wow, it's like, right. Start going right into it, and it's like right away start something conversational with them, and they go right into their normal self. You know what I mean?
That I mean, you see it. You see it time and time again. And Rock, I was trying to explain to my wife. I remember watching one of your episodes. What the story of you walking in? You were supposed to do an interview at their production at their studio, and AB asked you to sing a little lick real quick, and he spun it up, and next thing you know, you're on a track. You're on a famous track. I mean, you're gonna be infamous for if anything, Rock. You're on that track, and you're gonna be heard forever. What song is that?
Techno Cumbia.
Techno Cumbia. There you go.
And you know what's crazy is when I was in the studio, it was Manny Records up there in San Antonio. Uh, Yolanda was in there. She was there sitting on the couch for a while. And, she took off after a while. She was the president of the fan club.
Right.
So, and I have some home videos somewhere. I haven't looked for it, but I had because I had one of those big old VHS
The big
cameras
ones, yeah.
for home video, and I took a lot of behind the scenes footage of that and her first boutique and stuff. So I really should put it up on on social media or not, or YouTube, but maybe I'll look for it and I can transfer it into some files. But AB's in there and we're doing Techno Cumbia, and he says, "Hey, dude, you want to do this with me?" And so we get up on there, and he says, "Hey, bro, you want to help me out, Rock?" I go, "Yeah, man." He goes, "The thing is we're not going to be able to put you on the CD, the credits because everything's been already being processed." I said, "Hey, bro, just me knowing that I'm on it, dude, I'm honored, bro. It's all right, bro." So we went, we did it, and then the CD finally comes out, and my name's on there, bro. Like, that's crazy. So bad. I look at that, and it's like my name is on Selena's Amor Prohibido as Coros. And
Wow.
it's just something that was mind blowing to me, bro.
A Rock, and did you ever experience rap before that, bro?
No, well, I was, Sugar Hill Gang and OPP.
There you go.
Those were coming out back then.
There you
Some,
go.
Death Row was on its way out. So it
Hey,
was like
Rock, and
'93, something like that.
when you were a DJ, man, like uh, I think, and I'll kind of explain to my viewers just a little bit to kind of give them a background. I mean, in the '90s, late '80s, early '90s to mid '90s, Tejano music was humongous, bro. I mean, that thing was carrying, I mean, Latin music like no other. You know what I mean? Not that I can remember. I don't remember bachata. I don't remember, reggaeton. None of that. I mean, Tejano music. I mean, these dudes would come around and they were rock stars, bro. I mean, you're talking Rosedale Park, thousands of people as far as you can see. All the festivals, like
Yeah.
it was so huge, and you lived it, bro. Like that was, what I mean. I mean, I see it. Being around Fernando, Eloy, I get to hang out with Macizo every now and then. Like, you know what I mean. I see the like, and now it's the crowds are nowhere near what they were when what I'm saying back then. But do you ever remember a moment to where you're just standing there hanging out because the radio station's sponsoring the event, and somebody taps you on the shoulder and says, "Hey, Rock, I need you to bring us up." You know what I mean? And there's 40, 50,000 people screaming their heads off, and you got to go up and face these people, because being on the radio is one thing. You know what I mean? You say, "Oh, I got the face for radio." You know what I mean? Like to me, being on the radio, you can really get going because you don't really have somebody looking at you in a sense. But has that ever occurred?
Yeah. You know what's crazy, dude, is if you see those videos of me with Selena back then, you don't freaking recognize me, bro. Because I weighed like almost 280 pounds, long hair, chipped tooth that I gotten beat up by the undercover DEA, DPS, dude. They got it on with like three of them, and they busted my face into a windshield on South Padre Island when they raided my apartment over there. It's like crazy stuff, man, but you wouldn't recognize me, right? And so nowadays, I look a lot different. I've kind of evolved and had different facets or different stages in my life. But back then, what was really interesting was that the Tejano artist was a Tejano artist, right? But the musicians in the band were all rockers, dude. Emilio's band, they were all rockers, except for the accordion guy, and stuff,
Right.
Petey and La Fiebre, all rockers, dude. So whenever I'd be around, "Hey, Rock, so what then? Introduce us, bro." So I'd get up and thinking I'm just gonna introduce us, and they'd go in a Van Halen, or they'd go in
In
a
the
freaking.
background jamming.
I did War Pigs from Black Sabbath with La Fiebre, and then I'd get the crowd going, and I'd bang my hair, and I'd look at the crowd, and the crowd was like, "Al alma," what the fuck's going on? And then as soon as we would finish the song, like we were all on cue, like if I'd been playing with them forever, I'd say, "Ladies and gentlemen, La Fiebre!" Boom. So, Emilio would see me backstage. "Hey, Rock, get up and jam some Van Halen, bro.
That's
Orale, and then bring
awesome,
us
dude.
on." So I used to get up and do some music with those guys, man. It was a lot of fun, bro. But good memories, man. I just wish we had cell phones back then so we could imagine all the footage I'd have on video,
Dude,
bro.
I say that all the time about the military, like my early military career. Like guys, my kids, they take all kinds of pictures and videos, and man, we didn't have that. We had the Kodak. If you could buy one, the one that you would spin like that, the disposable ones.
And we
Uh,
had like 5 or 10 of them in a cajon, like 5 months later, that still hadn't been developed. You know what I mean?
Rock, we would go years, bro. I've heard stories of
Yeah.
people throwing them on top of the refrigerator, and the one day they want to dust on top of the refrigerator, like, "Hey, there's like 8 cameras up here," and you take them to
Yeah.
get developed, and you're like, "God, kids
Yeah.
graduating high school, and you got pictures when they were graduating kindergarten."
It's like a Facebook memory, right? Yeah, 5 years ago,
There
man.
you go, the classic Facebook memory. Um, hey, Rock, we haven't really spoke on your family, man. Are you married?
Yeah, I have a beautiful wife. She's part of the show. She's our production manager. The whole she handles the scripts and the switcher studio. And man, she's like my rock, bro. She keeps me in line, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're just like best friends, and it's just an amazing relationship that we have. She's a teacher. I'm a radio DJ still, and we work very hard, man. Me and her. After all the work we put throughout the day, we still muster up the energy to do the YouTube show, and we don't just do one a week. I mean, we do 5 live programs a week. So we do Tuesdays at 6, which is a music mix, and then Tuesday nights 8:30, which is Tuesday Night Live, where I'll do an interview with an artist. My son comes on to sports. My daughter has a celebrity segment, and my wife has the headline. One headline, and we talk about it. And then on Thursday, 6 o'clock. Well, the 6 o'clock show on Tuesday night is Tetera Tuesday. And that's basically puro acordeonazo y tejano y norteño y cumbias y guapangos y la chingada, right? Get the party started.
Right.
Then on Thursday, it's Throwback Thursday at 6 o'clock, and I'll mix. You know what? I feel like doing '80s. I feel like doing yacht rock. I feel like doing classic Tejano. I feel like doing some classic country. Let's go to 1978 and play the top 15 songs of '78. So throwback is what it is. It's throwback. Then Thursday night we have the Rock and Chat show, which is classic rock, classic toys, classic movies, classic. So it's all about classic stuff and the weekend rock and stuff. And then on Saturday night at 9 p.m., we have the weekly recap, hashtag PBT Saturday Night Party Live, where we have 3 questions. We'll do a contest with listeners because we can connect the phone and we get calls from all over the United States and Mexico. So it takes work to put that together. We don't just turn on the mic and the camera and let's go. We have scripts, we have segments, we have to get the imaging for the segments, the video, pictures, so people can see what we're talking about when we're talking about it, and they can figure it out.
It's not easy.
So-
Like my wife helps me every now and then. Like I'm doing the Switcher Studio right now and doing the Rodecaster Pro. So like to get everything synced up is it's not easy. I wanted to the link. I wanted to ask you, Rock, if there was one thing, and I try to ask all my guests. Sometimes I forget, and this just came to me because I don't want to forget. If there was one thing that you could tell somebody from the ages of 18 to 30 right now in the world that we live in and everything that's going on and stuff, what would it be?
Don't be lazy. Work hard. There's a lot of competition out there. I talked to a college class at UTRGV. It was Mr. Mann's broadcasting program. And I always when I do motivational speaking, my main message is work ethic. You have to work hard because there's always somebody else wanting to take what you got. It is good. Competition is very good. It makes you work harder. So they had a class, and I was saying, you know what? They were learning how to do like poster ads, stuff like that. So it's marketing and stuff. I said, look, everybody here will create a poster for the same event, and they're not all going to look the same. Some of them are going to be better than others. When you can be able to look at 10 posters and pick the best one out of those 10, you're onto something. When I look at a poster when it's done, I'm like, chinga, man. I look at what I'm not going to do. What is it from that poster that is wrong? And for example, sometimes there's too much information on a poster, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to make it as basic as possible. I always take the billboard approach, right? When you're driving down the highway, you see a billboard. You start seeing it like a quarter mile away. You pass the billboard and you still don't know what it said. Or,
True.
It just had too much text on it. Or one time I was passing by and I saw 3 plates of food. And I was like, damn, ta bruto. Man, look at that. Where's that? I passed it, and right before I passed it, I saw on the bottom little corner of the billboard Stripes. I almost passed that place without knowing it was Stripes. I was like, why is that? You gotta put the brand up there, bro. You got to make that brand that you've got. You got PBT. Look, it's boom, bold, dude. You know what? If somebody's walking towards me a block away, they might be able to see it. By the time they pass me, it's been 30 seconds. It's already ingrained in their brain.
In your head. Got you.
You know.
Yeah.
Another thing I did was I did the hashtag PBT instead of professional Valley Talk because it's so much easier to find my content.
Oh
You
yeah,
go to
instead of
YouTube.
bumpers, Wacky Wednesday. That shit's long, so
Yeah.
I don't want to do hashtag BWW.
BW, BWW or bumpers, you know, or
Yeah.
bumper whack, or even bumpers wacky. Like when I put some episodes of the show up, I'll put hashtag PVT, like the one I just uploaded this past at 5 o'clock today was about Dak Prescott. Hashtag PVT, hashtag Dak Prescott, hashtag Dallas Cowboys, hashtag. So if I want to show it to somebody and I'm in a hurry, I'll go to YouTube. I'll put hashtag PVT, hashtag Dallas Cowboys. Boom, it'll pop up. Or hashtag Dak injury.
So you don't have
Boom,
to
it'll
go through
pop
all
up.
of them; they just pop up like
You
that.
know, yeah, dude. You go right straight to the one you want to. Now you can also number them. Tetera Tuesday number 15. Tetera Tuesday number 14. Hey, you know what, dude? I mentioned you bumper on Tetera Tuesday number 4. Hashtag 14. Hashtag Tetera Tuesday 14. Boom, there it is. You're
There it
here.
is. Yeah.
Instead of going through all the Tetera Tuesdays, you know. So
I
it's
started
very
that
efficient.
rock. I started the episode. I started like bumpers episode 1, 2. No, hombre, vato, when I got to like 18 or 19, I lost track. So now I just kind of put the who I'm interviewing or what we're talking about. The show has come 360, dude, from when I first started. I first started doing this show. Those of you that are watching from RockNRoll James' side, I first started doing this show. If I tell you, you're gonna laugh, man. But I literally there's a pizza place in Florida called Hungry Howie's. I don't know if they have any in the Valley. They only have one here in San Antonio. It's called Hungry Howie's. So me and my wife that Wednesday, it was the start of COVID. We just got told we're working from home. You know what I mean? We're gonna be home. So we went and got a pizza from there, and it was a Wednesday night. And I sang. I just read a thing and I'm saying what it says. So when I came home, I saw the box and it said Wacky. It was Wacky Wednesday. So I got on Facebook Live and I'd also bought some stuff. I don't know if you've ever had this rock. And we ever get together, when you come to San Antonio, I'm gonna have you try it. It's called parisa. I don't know if you've ever had that. So parisa is carne picada, carne remolida, raw. With cheese, onion, and cilantro in there, and then they put a lot of lime on it, and it's kind of like a ceviche, but with beef. And they put it back in the refrigerator, and you eat it with crackers. Like, if you can get over the fact that it's raw, it tastes good. Anyway, so I started doing that, and dude, I started drinking. So I was on live, bro. Facebook kicked me off. You got a 4-hour limit. I was on Facebook for 4 hours, bro, and people were like, I was like, hey, man, if I get 25 viewers, we're going to do another shot. Yeah, I come and say, right, boom, boom, boom. And then my wife talked to me. She's like, hey, you know what? Don't do that. Like, you're not that I'm smarter than that, but, you should take this, in a different direction. And I kind of did. Like, we've talked about all kinds of things. I had a great conversation with you earlier today. Like, I mean, you're so knowledgeable on current events that I don't think your show would never give you that credit. So I'll credit you just by speaking to you earlier. Your current event stuff is off the charts. How do you?
Of course, you're talking about the politics and all that stuff.
Yeah,
right?
everything, not just politics, just everything in general.
Just life in general.
Like, is that the radio in you? Is that because? You know what I mean? That you hear it over and over again while you're doing radio, or what? I mean, or is that just your passion for you to be on top of things like that?
I have been, besides loving music, I have been a news junkie since I was in junior high, probably. Since I was about 16, 15, I became a news junkie. CNN was barely coming out. and I loved it. And it was nothing like the programming it has now. It
Right.
was just 24 hours of 30-minute news, like watching the news here locally. It's 30
Yeah.
minutes, right? And then it would just repeat the next half hour and then the next half hour. And if anything came up new, they just add it. So I like, well, everybody was out. Like, I'd go to my friend's apartment and they'd all be partying, and then the next day I'd stay there, and the next day they had cable, so I'd be there watching CNN all day long, bro. So I mean, I've been an I kind of became a media analyst. And so by the time I got into radio in 1988 and then got these TV opportunities, I had already absorbed. Do you remember a show on HBO called Martin Tupper was his name? And it was like an amazing show, dude. And the beginning of the show, he's a little baby. They put him in front of the TV and he grows up and then he's a little older. So he grows up in front of the television, and they're showing a
Right.
bunch of black and white shows and all that. So he ends up growing up, and his whole life is like all the drama going on there. Little segments of clips of old
It's based
movies
off this TV, watching TV.
would come into the scene, dude.
Yeah.
And so I was like, that's kind of like how I kind of grew up, and I started, seeing television in a whole different way and news as well. What they're doing today, I mean, it's crazy, man. Yeah.
You don't know, like we were saying, you don't know what to believe. I always say to the viewers, like, I got to read CNN, and then I got to read Fox, and then kind of read them, and then kind of come up with your own
Yeah.
whatever the subject is about. That's kind of how I always take it.
The
But
name of the show was Dream On. I just looked it up. Dream
uh,
On was the name of the show on HBO. If you get an opportunity to watch it or just check a couple of episodes out, check it out. It was on HBO, so there's some nudity and stuff too as well. But this guy's like a book publisher, and he lives in New York, and it's just pretty amazing.
now that you said
But
Dream On, it rings a bell. It rings a bell. That was when HBO was on the box that you had to like walk up and push the button.
yeah, pretty
You,
much. I mean, well, it depends on what kind of TV you had. You know,
hey, Rock, we didn't have HBO and Showtime at this. Ese el puro fuzz. Every now and then it would fix and you could see what they
yeah,
were showing. um,
yeah.
hey, Rock, and so the radio, the disc jockey that you do now, that's what genre or what format is that?
It's rock. Yeah, I'm
It's
on
rock.
Q945, therock.com. And terrestrially here, it's 94.5, The Rock, or all rock all the time. And we play just great classic rock, dude. Man, Journey, Led Zeppelin. I mean, I get up in the morning and I get to hear some of the greatest rock music, every day,
Every day and
every
get
day,
paid for it.
dude. Yeah, and I get to talk with an audience, and bring up current events or make a little joke on the air. I'm more of a music intense type of guy. I let the audience listen to plenty of music in the morning, and then I'll interject every once in a while. But
You're not one of those
but
DJs like here in San Antonio, man. I can't. Like they play a song, but you hear more of them than you are of the song. 'Cause they cut in and
yeah,
hey, give a shout out here, shout out there. I'm not gonna say
yeah.
what radio station, but
I
you
tend to
know
do that with my mixes on YouTube because
that's
I'm
different
watching
though.
and they're
That's your show.
watching. Yeah, that's my show. And if they want to watch it, they can watch it. If they don't, they
That's
don't.
right.
But working with a corporation or corporate radio is a whole different ball game. I mean, it used to be. I was just talking about it this past Tuesday night. I think it was Tuesday night. No, last Thursday with Rock and Chaz when I used to have strippers, in the
Oh yeah, in
booth,
the
and
studio. I remember you talking about
yeah, and I'd
that.
make them strip, and they'd get naked, and we'd do all kinds of crazy things in the studio. I'll invite fans in that were having a birthday, and they'd get it was like Howard Sternish.
Yeah,
And right now it's very, very, political correctness run amok, man. And that's something that I'm totally against. I'm against political correctness. I'm against censorship. I'm against, because I saw what they would try to do back in the '80s with heavy metal, trying to ban it.
Right.
The government, nor certain politicians,
Mm-hmm.
not the whole government, but certain politicians. They had and uh, then Howard Stern in the '90s, they would fine him millions of dollars. He ended up going to satellite, which was the anniversary of him going to satellite this past Thursday. So, I'm against that. I love the freedom of being able to express myself, being able to entertain to the fullest extent, and just have fun, man. We live in a free country, bro. Nobody
Rock,
should
that
be shutting
that's what I
anybody
love.
down,
That's what I
bro.
love about you, bro, is that you like you just said earlier, speaking Spanish and English, Spanglish, and then making your own words, the thing. But at the end of the day, like for my viewers that are watching, right? At the end of the day, you hear this gentleman give us all these things. He is one proud freaking American. That's for damn sure. And he will not. I mean, you can go through his Facebook, you can go through his YouTube, you can Google Rock and Roll James. You'll see pictures with him with flags. I mean, the dude is very patriotic. So, being a service member, and we talked about that earlier. Like, I love people that are patriotic. You know what I mean? Like, you should love the country that that we live in. It's who we are. But you don't forget your roots in a sense that, I'm American. I don't do those kind of things. You know what I mean? You're American. You grew up in
But
the
but
valley.
even yeah, but even if I did, so what, bro? It's America. I mean, a lot of people persecute everybody else. I was just talking about, people telling people that are supporting the current president, that well, your parents and grandparents came from Mexico and this and that. First of all, they don't know that. They're just throwing that at people because they got a Hispanic name, right?
Right.
But what makes them think that the grandparents and the parents wouldn't have voted for the current president? You know, they came over here from wherever they were to work, and not only work, but to be able to voice their opinion, have their choice, and their freedom of voting without anybody persecuting them for it, bro. You know what I mean?
I'm
That's
with you.
why they leave. That's why they leave those countries because of our freedom. And over there, they were probably getting persecuted for supporting a certain individual, supporting a certain type of music, supporting a certain type of movie. You know what I mean? And so they came over here and they see a lot of people persecuting a bunch of other people that are supporting a certain candidate. That's not what they
No,
wanted, bro. They wanted to be able
definitely.
to come here and be able to have their freedom of choice without being persecuted for it, bro. You know what I mean? So
We brought this up last week. Last week we just I didn't have anybody on, so we kind of just talked about current events, and what I like, and me like, what do they call trolling when you're just going through people's Facebook or their Instagrams and kind of seeing the comments.
mhm.
I've noticed something about you. You always de-escalate a situation. Like somebody can just totally disagree with what you're saying, and to me you don't come at it like, bro, whatever, you know what I'm saying. You come with facts, or your opinion, and it's an educated opinion. It's not just something that
Or
you
something
pulled
that
out.
sounds kind of common sense, it's
Yeah,
just common sense
you know what I mean. I
sometimes.
mean, for, but what I'm trying to get is like, you being who you are and what you do. You know what I mean? You could easily be like, dude, whatever, bro. Like, get off my shit or whatever. You know what I mean? But you're not like that. You don't veer them away. You just trying to say, hey, man, this is what I think. This is the way it is, and that's kind of that's what I like about you. You know what I mean? You're not.
Yeah, I love the collaboration of ideas. I love engagement. That's the only way we can learn more. I mean, if we wouldn't do that, we wouldn't learn. But when it just comes up to insults and shit like that, I mean, it's all right. But depending who you're doing it with, because there's some guys that que yo mosqueo con ellos, quedas y todo, pero there's some that will start up something with me, and then I'll be a little funny with them, and they're not gonna like it or whatever. But something that I really, really believe in is I like to make up my own mind. I don't like anybody making my mind up for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, no,
If I
exactly.
if I made a decision, it's because that's a decision I wanted to make, and I have my reasons for that decision. Now, if you have something you might be able to tell me to keep me from, changing my mind, well, maybe, but don't make up my mind for me, bro. You know what I mean? At
Yeah,
the end of
no.
the day, we're gonna do what we want to do.
I mean,
And that's the way I was. That's why I was out of my house, my mom's house, when I was in 10th grade. It's because I didn't like authority, dude. I didn't like any of that, dude.
Rocky
Oh
never would have
God.
made it in the Marine Corps, bro. You don't like authority. You never would have
No,
made it in
I
the Marine
wouldn't.
Corps. Uh, hey, Rock. So you stay busy, bro. We were talking offline, and you stay busy, bro. I mean, your morning starts 2 or 3 hours at minimum before a normal person. You know what I mean? I mean, it's almost like you're in the military. You know what I mean? You start like extremely earlier. Uh, is that already embedded in you? Like, do you already
No.
no? When that alarm goes off every day, it's a struggle to get up.
Yeah. Well, it depends, because like I said, my wife and I, we work so much. I mean, we go to bed at 1 a.m. by the time we wind down, and then I got to get up at 4:30, 4:15. And the reason I get up at 4:30 is because I get up and I'm not the type to just get up and put on my damn freaking cap and go to work. No,
Right.
I get up, I shower, I do my gel, I put some cologne, I try to dress up nice and, look fresh. Then I come to the kitchen, I cook my eggs and, vegetables, and I set up my two little meals that I'm going to have at work. And then I get my water, I take my vitamins, I take my supplements, I make my coffee, and then I turn on the truck and then I get in there and I head out. And that's my daily ritual because I'm not the type to just get up y irme todo fodongo pa'l jale, carnal. You know what I mean?
Hair in the
I
chongo. Vámonos y go.
yeah. One time I'm not going to mention any names, but I had a morning show and we had a guy that was on the morning show. Y llegaba con la pinche almohada pegada, carnal. You know what I mean? Like he just rolled out of bed. And he showed up in pajamas one time. I told him, "Hey, bro, that doesn't fly here, man." He goes, "What do you mean, man? It's like nobody's here." I go, "Well, we're gonna be here till 11 o'clock. The office is gonna be open, but it's all about having pride in yourself, bro.
Yeah, hell
You
yeah.
know, trying to look your best ever. If you go to a interview for a job, and there's a guy with pajamas, and there's a guy that's dressed up, who are you gonna hire, bro? The guy, hey, took the time to get dressed and show up and look good, and boom, I want to. That guy's gonna fucking, have
Get the
pride in what he
job.
does. Gotta get the job done. So, even if I'm gonna go to the store, dude, I gotta put on some jeans. I gotta look presentable, man. That's just me. That's just
I
the way
got
I
you.
am.
Rock. With that being
And
said, I have a pet peeve that I have. If you don't know, I have 8 kids, man. So
damn, bro,
they're almost
you
all
need to
out of
buy
the
a
house.
TV.
Yeah, I know, I do. I got one. I got a big TV. But man, you threw me off what I was gonna say.
Welcome to my world.
No, what do you, oh yeah, that's what I was gonna tell you. So my thing is like, I love tattoos. I can see that you're tatted up. You know what I mean? You got sleeves. You know what I mean? And you said something like, "Hey, when you go presentable." And these are bumpers wacky Wednesday questions. You know what I mean? No script. Like my thing was, I always tell people like, "Hey man, before you go and get a sleeve, figure out what you're gonna do in life. Like have a thing. And the reason I say that is because you said it. Like if you go to a job interview and both guys they both have the same credentials, they both, you know what I mean, they both can speak, and you own that company, that's what feeds your family. And you're gonna have somebody work the front desk, right? The job for the front desk. Y un vato llega ahí, they both get there in short sleeve shirts. Again, same credentials. One's clean cut, no tattoos, y el otro está sleeved up. Who are you gonna hire?
Well, it depends. I mean, that's when you really got to figure out who is the better person for the job, because tattoos don't necessarily mean if I have like, it also depends on the tattoos, bro. I mean, if they're
True, no,
gangbanger
true.
tattoos,
I got
you
you.
know, some of them are considered art, I've got some portraits. I got Steve Jordan back here, you know.
Wow.
Let's see,
That
where is
don't
it?
come out on
Uh,
hashtag PVT right there, dude.
I have Steve Jordan. I have Waylon Jennings. I have Johnny
Johnny
Cash.
Cash.
So, I didn't get my first tattoo till I was 22, 23. And it was not this one. This is my pit bull
That's
whiskey.
nice, man. That's
That's a
nice.
cover up. But this one was my very first tattoo right here. Right here. And I was 28, 25 when I got it. I wasn't gonna get a tattoo till because I used to be in junior high and there were dudes getting all kinds of tattoos. Everybody doing tattoos on each other, looking all crappy and stuff, bro. And I was like, nah, man, I don't want that. I want to wait till I can afford an awesome
You
one.
saw the future.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nah,
You know, and so it all
it's
depends on the tattoos as well. I mean, if you've got some very nice art, you're still nicely dressed, you still got your little nice shirt, you're ready to go. Even tattoos shouldn't have any anything
yeah.
that might
No, I mean,
say
I
it all
seen
depends.
DAs. You ever see the old DA from Bear County? I forgot his name. That dude.
Yeah, he's got a sleeve, right?
Yes, bro. And that dude's. I hope you don't ever watch this. But that dude's gangster, bro. I've been in his presence. Like the dude just has, like, el vato está vestido, tie. He does CrossFit y la chingada. But bro, he just got a vibe like, hey, you don't want to mess with that dude. You know what I mean? But he's sleeved up. I mean, he's got, and he was a
Yeah.
district attorney for Bear County. Well, Rock, I mean, I don't want to keep you for the whole 2 hours, but I also want to just like, I want you to I know you mentioned your shows, you know what I mean, the all your shows, and it takes time, dude, because I mean, the production that I see that you guys do is just not interviews, you know what I mean? I mean, you guys have sponsors, you do sponsor commercials, you know what I mean? And that takes work, dude. And you just said your wife's a teacher. You know what I mean? You're working early in the morning. It's hard to find time to do these things, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it makes your show great. Like, I mean, it makes your show outstanding because it has all those little trinkets and stuff. You know what I mean? It has all the little detailed.
The only thing that's really, that I'm really missing is the gym, dude. I need that gym workout. I need to go out there and just let all my frustration out, get that pump, feel good, get that blood running. And I just haven't been able to add it into my routine on a regular basis. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because there's always shit to do, man. And like I said, if I get up at 4 in the morning and go to the gym, then I gotta, be rushing to get to work and hit the microphone at 6 a.m. And then I'm there till 2 p.m. And then I come home. If I run to the gym, if I have time, if I don't have other stuff to do, then I gotta be back by 6 to do the show. And then on Wednesday, it's just
It's
I need to
crazy.
figure out. Yeah, I need to figure out, and that's something that I really, really enjoy doing. And so it's just I got to figure out a scheduling. But the shows that I mean, not only do I work the radio station, I have the hashtag PVT YouTube channel that we have 5 live shows a weekly. I also write a column for a newspaper, and then I do when COVID's not around, I DJ weddings and quinceañeras. I do stand up comedy. I book my band. Last fall we traveled like 5,000 miles between August and October, the end of October, El Paso, Arlington. So we're playing all over Texas. And then we carry a videographer with us. So we make footage behind the scenes, all access. And you can go to our Whiskey D YouTube channel and see those shows, man. We take you to truck stops. We take you all over the place. It's really awesome.
A
And
real
so
behind the scenes look.
yeah, so when we come back from the show, the photographer or the videographer gives me all the footage, and then I spend the week making shows out of it, 5 minute, episodes. And so editing, I'm an editor. I produce the imaging. I put the scripts together, send them to my wife. My wife was usually doing that, but she's working extra. She works more than I do as a teacher.
Right.
So we're adjusting, but I do miss some of those days where we just had a lot of free time and we were able to get on our Harley and go to the hill country, Kerrville and Bandera, and just ride the hills, man, and just get away. But that'll happen, sooner or later. I'm setting some goals, and one of the goals that I'm setting is that we'll be able to fly out to different parts of the country every weekend to film shows.
Dude,
And
that would be awesome.
yeah, if
That
all
would,
I did was YouTube, bro, and I didn't do radio, man, I'd get up in the morning. Have you ever seen Louder with Crowder or Good Morning
good. Yeah,
something
yeah.
morning? He's got like a morning show. I
Mm-hmm.
was telling my wife we could do something like that in the mornings if I didn't work radio and you didn't do. So I'm hoping that one of these days, me and my wife will just be able to be self-contained, be a corporation together, but just being her, and we'd be able just to, man, grow an audience. Right now what happens is I'm in radio, and sometimes when we're doing our show, we're tired, bro. And but we're still, como que ahora le estamos metiendo chingazo, ¿me entiendes?
That's right.
But it does affect, the show. But if I just did YouTube, dude, like I'm doing, and we did our own shows and stuff, bro, or if I just did radio and no YouTube, I'd get off of work, I'd come take a nap, go to the gym, ride my Harley around.
You'd have
But
time for
right
all
now,
that.
dude, right now I got a buffet line of just all kinds of projects going on. But it is what it is, man. I'm an ambitious guy, and that's what I like to do. And my wife is as ambitious as I am. She's on top of shit, bro, big time.
Bro, your t-shirts, bro, like uh that's I mean, I got one. I haven't got it yet. It's
It's on
probably
its
gonna be in the
way.
mail. It's on its way. It's gonna be here tomorrow. But before I let you get off, Rock, definitely. If people wanted to, and I probably should have set it up. I probably could have copied it off of y'all's and put it on here. If somebody wants to get a hashtag PVT shirt, I'm sorry I didn't set up the thing where I could have it across the screen here. But what would they have to do to get like the shirt that you're wearing? I know you have another one with the accordion on the side. You have different things with the Terra Tuesday with the accordion one. That one's pretty cool. And you got Whiskey D merchandise. Is all that together, or how do they
Yeah,
get a hold of you for all that?
yeah. Just go to our YouTube channel, and we let you all know on every show. Hey, every show we'll tell you we have a Patreon membership club as well, where you can support the show. We also have Cash App, and that's how we usually deal our shirts. We have a phone that you can contact us. We have a mail PO box, and boy, man, we get fan gifts from all over the United States. It's crazy,
That's
and we put a lot of it on our shelf. We have all this shelf is full of stuff that fans have sent us. And I got the amps, and there's some, so got bobbleheads. A cap up there is from Wisconsin. The Undertaker. The Undertaker little bank was sent from a friend in Bronzeville, a fan. Got the kids, so we get all kinds of stuff. And then I pull out albums from here, and Mickey Gilly,
Mickey Gilly.
we have and then from Mickey Gilly, oh shit, we got Crocus.
You got
So
you got a whole different type. That's all kinds of genre in that right there.
and then some Metallica, the Whiplash single. It's got Jump in the Fire. It's got 4 songs. It's a single. Back in the day, they had singles. So, I mean, we have all kinds of fans sending us all kinds of stuff, man.
And a rock. What at the end of the day, I tell people, like, if I have one viewer or I have 1,000 viewers, you know what I mean? The thing is like the comments you get, or just a conversation, like every week I kind of have like different subjects. So, we're going to talk about this or talk about that. And if somebody takes something from it, great. And that makes it worth it for me. You know what I mean? It's I'm not, nobody's sending me a check to sit here and do this. It's just another form of getting, letting people hear other people's stories. You know what I mean? Their journey to where they're at. And I like to ask questions sometimes that you're just not gonna get on a normal interview. Like, hey, what do you got coming up next? When this album's coming out? You know what I mean? I want to know, like, hey, dude, y'all stop at this gas station all the time, and you always get Twinkies, or why does this guy like drinking Dr. You know what I mean? It's just questions that are just kind of off the wall. You know what I mean? That's kind of
Yeah,
like
it's called connecting.
hey,
We're connecting with people, networking.
yep.
Meeting other people in the. It's weird because I did a show with Howard Stern about Howard Stern's Serious thing last Thursday, and out of the show, every show we do, I make episodes clips, and I put a Howard Stern clip when he had strippers in his. And so, I put hashtag PBT, hashtag Howard Stern, hashtag stripper, and and some Howard Stern fans started commenting on there, and one of them said, "This is unentertaining" and shit like that. I mean, he hated on us, but but it's good. I mean, hey, as long as it doesn't get really personal, or they start attacking other people on
Yeah.
the comments, they're good with us. I mean, we're willing to take the bad with the good. And I answered because he said unentertaining, the song about stop trying to ride Howard's coattails, and I was
Oh
like,
my
so I
goodness.
responded. I said, hey, it's Howard's anniversary, and we talk about different entertainment celebrities. The music behind us was Van Halen. Eddie Van Halen passed away, and but thanks for the view. So that's the thing. I mean, they can't take their view back, and it helps our analytics. So come on and watch us. I don't care.
Rock,
That's
you've been
good.
in the business a long time, and I'm sure in every aspect that you've been in, that you're gonna have haters. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
It is what it is. You know what I mean?
I've
Eh,
had a couple of them these past 2 days on social media, dude, and I just laugh at them, bro. I mean, I like engage with them, but in a funny way, like,
right.
yeah, yeah, right, you're right, yeah, yeah, and they're like expecting me to like
They want you to
engage with
blow. They
them,
want you to
bro.
blow up and do.
Yeah,
Be. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. That's
yeah,
why I like trolling
and,
your page,
and
because you never blow up.
and you know what? They want me to blow up with them and engage with them in a mean manner, or
Right.
and so they can be hanging out with their friends. Say, watch out, bro. You know, Rock, I got him all pissed off, bro. Check it out. Watch out, though. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So it's like a badge of honor to some of them, bro, that they got under my skin. But I'm a comedian, bro, so I'm able to take a lot of bullshit, a lot of fun. It's funny to me, bro. I like it.
It's I mean, when you watch one, for my viewers, like, hey, dude, go to his YouTube channel, like, subscribe, share. It's hashtag PVT. Check it out. I'm telling you, I mean, hey, if you don't like Accordion Abuse music, well, you're not gonna listen to Tetara Tuesday. But hey, you might like collectibles, you might like rock. You come in on Thursday. know what I mean? Rock has just a whole variety of different things, you know, and that's what I like about it, man. It's just that you come from all different angles, you know what I mean? And
You don't know what to expect with me, bro. You
exactly,
know,
there you go. That's
the
it. You
other
don't know what to
the
expect.
other Tetera Tuesday, last Tuesday was Van Halen. It was all Van Halen because Eddie died. You know, so
Yep.
I was like, you know what? This is my show. This is my party, and I hope you all enjoy it. And thank you for supporting. And you know, we're not going to do any accordion or tejano today. We're going to play some Van Halen, man, because he passed away today, and he was huge. You know. And so, you know, even a lot of Tejanos know who Eddie Van Halen is. Everybody knows Van Halen. Everybody's heard Van Halen. So, you know, it works.
Rock, you would be amazed. I said this maybe like 4 shows back. If we had cell phones back then, like say when I was in the military, you know, if we had cell phones back then, if I could pick up, if picking up somebody's phone and going to their music list, you can majority of the time you can pretty much point where they're from in the United States.
Hmm.
It's that you know, because here in Texas, bro, you can have a Ramon Ayala song, and then George Strait right after, and then a Van Halen song, right? Then a Metallica song, you know. Go to AC/DC, and then next thing you know, you're playing a old school oldie Richie Valens song, or you know what I mean. We kind of a vast variety of different music, and it to me it's all our culture. It is. I mean that's what we grew up with, and I don't know. I hope it doesn't change, man. I really do. I'm glad that there's still rock stations around, that you can jam, because to me, I mean, is there new rock bands around? I mean, I don't see that.
Yeah, but the majority of those bands are being found and followed on devices. You know, right now, the radio industry, the audience is a lot older. The young audience is kind of like tuning out of terrestrial radio,
Mm-hmm.
and they're making their own playlists on YouTube. They're their own DJs. They're their own radio station. So that's basically what's going on. And so a lot of radio stations, you're going to be hearing their programming become a little older. I don't know about the Spanish market. Spanish market, you know, they'll play young banda artists and stuff like that, and even reggaeton. There's some reggaeton stations, but the the viewership, like just like the NBA, man. You know, they lost it,
It's
but there was a
They
lot of
lost a
other
lot of
things going
people.
on with that.
Yeah.
But it's that television is slowly evolving out, terrestrial radio slowly evolving out, and everybody's just having on demand on their devices.
Instantaneous to
Yeah,
your phone. What
it's
one
like
question?
when I was okay, when
Oh no, you there, Rock? You froze on me. Let's see.
individually. So that's what's going to happen with this now. You know what I mean? Where you'll be able to buy the app of the History Channel, Fox News, CNN, you know, Access TV, which is one of my favorites. It's got a lot of music.
Right.
You know, you'll be able to choose, and that's what you can do now. You can itemize your preferences.
Hey, Rock. Before I let you go, I wanna ask you a question, and it's just because it's something that's been interesting me in like the last 2 weeks, kind of reading up on it, and um, I'm a huge Tejano music guy. Like that. That's the conjunto en Tejano. That's my number one. It'll always be. Muñeco always gives me a hard time. Like, yeah, vato. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, bro. That's me. It's my culture. It's what I love. I love that music. You know, but when you start getting into like regional Mexican music and stuff, I never dug the Duranguese. Some banda I like, you know what I mean? Norteño I love. But what do you think about uh, the mesh of the old school corrido now with the younger generation who are not letting that music go, which to me is in a good way. Like they're not forgetting where they come from, but what they call now, I don't know if you've heard any of the corridos tumbados,
Mm-hmm.
and to
Is
me,
it is it the ones that they slow down?
yeah, well, no, not the screwed up ones, not screwed and chopped up, but it's big in California. So like they take the what is it, the bajo quinto, is it the quinto or the, I forgot what they call, but it has like a lot of like ting 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 ting, like real sharp, almost like bachata a little bit. But these guys are taking what we used to be like old school corrido, Chalino Sanchez and stuff like that, and they're taking that music, making it their own, and then talking about stuff today. So I mean, these guys are probably from like 14, 15 years old to, the oldest guy probably is maybe 30 years old that you see. They have a big like Wu-Tang clan of them. They're called Rancho Humilde, and Jimmy Humilde is the guy who created them. But have you heard any of that or not really?
No, I haven't, man. That's the thing about it is there's just so much on the internet you can't watch it all, bro. And once you listen, and then if you do find it, you'll be into it for a week or two, and then you'll find something else. I
Do
mean,
you TikTok?
no, I don't TikTok, bro.
And no
No.
watching TikTok either, right?
Well, they put it. They sometimes they message me a TikTok video,
Yeah.
and you can see them on Facebook.
The
But
only reason I asked is because that song that it comes out on any kind of the like Hispanic videos is the Sigue Chambeando one. That guy, he's part of that what do you call that? That's cool. I just think it's unique that kids we think that they're straying away from it's just all rap, but these guys are still around, and it's just evolving. You know what I mean? They're making their
yeah,
own.
well, I was with my godson Christian. He's about 10 years old, and we took him to the pumpkin patch on Saturday. And on the way back, we were saying, okay, everybody gets a song on the phone, me and my wife and him. And so I had my YouTube music, and everybody was choosing a song. And his music, he chose a song that was cumbia from Pegaso,
Uh-huh.
but
Old school, dude.
it was slowed down. And then the cover was like a troquita, like a little bajita troquita, because they got truck
Troqueando.
low, yeah. And I was like, wow, they just slowed it down, and it sounds kind of like, you know, and
Yeah.
it's a whole different style. So a lot of kids are being creative, man, and that's good.
That's cool. Yeah, man. I didn't know if you had heard it. But
I'll
Rock,
look for them.
I want to tell you, bro, personally, gracias, bro, for giving me, your time, your evening. I mean, we heard your schedule. I know you're a busy, busy, busy man, but I want to tell you, man, that I really appreciate you always putting, even if it's 2 minutes, a 3-minute phone call, if it's just a quick text, hey, do this or do that. I really appreciate it, man. You've never treated me like, hey, dude, what are you trying to do? You've helped me so far, and you've never told me no. And that's because I physically have never personally been in your I've been in your presence, but it was a concert or whatever, back in the day, but I've never sat down and had a beer with you. It's just been through social media, and then we text back and forth. So gracias, dude. Mil gracias for mentoring me in that sense. I really appreciate it, and I wish you nothing but the best, bro, with #PVT, and you getting you and your wife being able to stop what you're doing and travel the world, and bring us funny shows, man. I really appreciate it, Rock.
Yeah, and I invite everybody to join me. #PVT on YouTube. You can follow me on social media at #PVT, at Rock and Roll James on Instagram. And then, we have a PVT page on Facebook. We have a Rock and Roll James page on Facebook. We have a Asustame One Time page on Facebook, which is a little more edgy. So we're all over the place, but YouTube is where you can find all the fun, man. We're live every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday.
Thank you, Rock. And enjoy the rest of your evening, and tell your wife thank you for helping us out earlier. I appreciate it. and we'll be tuning in, man. I really appreciate you coming on, Rock. Thank you, sir.
All right, man. You have a good one. Good night.
All right, brother. So that was Rock and Roll James, man. For me, I'm starstruck to be honest with you. For my viewers, that guy has done a lot for the industry, the music industry in all sense. So, Rock, again, thanks for tuning in. People have been hitting me up all night, dude, about this T-shirt I'm wearing. I found them on Instagram. You can hashtag Texican, hit them up, hit them and add them, or whatever you do on Instagram. Add them and message them. Dude, they're great customer service. They got koozies. They got all kinds of stuff. This is not the only shirt. They got other shirts. You could check out their Instagram page. They'll show you. But I saw this shirt and I fell in love with it. So shout out to hashtag Texican Clothing, or just Texican. You can find them on Instagram and message them. They'll take care of you. Like, literally, I talked to them, I think on Sunday night, and this was already in the mail yesterday. So it's pretty cool. To all my viewers, man, thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. We're gonna keep doing this. It's not a bad background. This is my wife's little coffee drinking area, or whatever you want to call it. So it was a little different just because they've been working on the house and we couldn't be where I'm usually at. But it ended up being a cool backdrop. So shout out to my wife for letting me use her area. You guys have a good week. Tune in next week on Wednesday to Bumpers Wacky Wednesday. I do it every Wednesday. Every week is something different. Thank you guys for tuning in. Love every single one of y'all. Good night.